When I started doing this series, I wanted to talk about stories that I either started writing or that I've already finished writing. But sometimes I also want to talk about story concepts that I've come up with that haven't even really hit paper yet, but I just came up with them. And one of them that I came up with, and I actually did try to write out at first, but it kind of just died on the way out onto the paper, was called Love Like Hell. And this was a story concept that I thought would be kind of creative, but I don't know, I just didn't really have a plot, and I'll go more into that as I explain the synopsis. So the setup was, you have this guy, pretty standard, he's your typical college guy trying to get through school, wants to, pass, make good grades, he attends his local church, he does all the right things. But the thing is, he really, really, really is lonely, and he wants a girlfriend. He wants to have the nerve to ask out a girl. He doesn't know he's going to do it. One day, while going home from school, or going to his apartment rather, he gets hit by a truck. Well, rather than be isekai'd into another world, he is now on the brink between life and death. And in that little void, in that little space between death and life, he meets someone. A demoness, a succubus, who has basically come to him saying, "Hey, I'm here to offer you a deal." Now, this guy knows better than to accept deals from demons, so he's like, nope, I'd rather just go to heaven, just let my soul go, let me go to heaven. And she goes, no, you don't understand. I'm not here to take your soul. In fact, quite the opposite. I want redemption. I want to no longer be a demon. I want to let go of my sin, let go of all this evil, but I don't know how to do it. I've been watching you for a while. You seem like a pretty cool guy, seem like a really nice guy, pretty chill. I would like to learn how to be a better person and let go of all my bad habits and sinful desires by watching you. And he says, what? Really? Why not go to a priest or to a pastor or something? And she points out, yeah, that's going to work. A demon pops up in front of one of them and they don't go for the holy water. Yeah, that totally works. So she basically makes a deal. You want to learn how to get the girl. You want to learn how to find a girl, actually have a committed relationship. Gotcha. I can help you with that. Kind of have some experience in that field. So I'll help you get the lady. You help me get out of hell. Okay? And so he agrees to the deal. And so basically she kind of becomes not really, she's not visible. She's like a phantom kind of floating around him. No one else can see her unless she decides to step into his body and possess it to allow her to speak through him like a living puppet. And in those moments, he hates it. He actually detests when she does it, but she sometimes does it to get him to do things that will help him achieve his goal. And the two are actually of a like mind on this. They actually do want to help each other out. Believe it or not, there's no strings attached here. She's not actually trying to twist him or corrupt him in any way. She actually does mean what she says when she says she wants to be saved. He doesn't know about it, but as they go along, they start to become more and more friendly, and he starts to recognize there really is a good person there. But she does have her struggles, because she still doesn't understand why she has to stop acting certain ways. Like, for example, one of the pieces of advice she gives him is basically go out there and do this. And it's like something very risque and inappropriate. And he goes, no way. She goes, why not? Ladies love that. And he goes, well, I don't like that. And she's like, oh, God, you're such a prude. And he goes, well, that's the thing. You want to get better. Well, maybe you shouldn't give advice like that. She goes, wait, that's bad? It's kind of this thing where they're both on totally opposite ends of what's right and wrong. And she does genuinely want to do better. She actually does want to do better, but she's having trouble letting go of old habits. Meanwhile, he genuinely wants to be more assertive and go out there and get the girl, but he is having a lot of trouble breaking out of his shyness, and she sometimes has to give him that extra push. But there is a catch. There is a rule that they have with each other. If she ever tries to possess him or use his body or do anything to him that would hurt him or other people in any way, he has exclusive right to sever their contract right away. He'll go straight to heaven. She goes straight back to hell. End of story. So that's their deal. Now, while this is going on, there is either a priest or an angel, I never really figured out which, who is aware of her being there and is doing everything he can to exorcise her, to get rid of her. And he, trying to uphold his end of things, is trying to protect her and keep her from getting exorcised. Along the way, the priest starts, or angel, whatever, starts to think that this guy, has been corrupted or possessed and needs to be dealt with as well. So she has to try to protect him as well. And it becomes both of them trying to work together to save her soul, get him the girl, and get him off their back. So it's all this kind of stuff. Now, some of you may hear this and think, Raymond, that seems a little choppy. And that's the reason it was never finished. I never went past the first concept chapter. Quite often when I write a story, I'll write a concept draft of the first chapter, kind of a pilot kind of thing, just to get an idea of what I'm going to do. I wrote that. It was an idea. I admit it was a neat idea, but I never really went forward with it. But the funny thing is, after Hazbin Hotel came out, because I wrote this before Hazbin Hotel was a thing, after Hazbin Hotel came out, I thought back on that story, and I thought, was my story really that bad now? Because Hazbin Hotel, while a unique concept, I feel like what I wrote was, and this isn't to toot my own horn, but kind of a little bit better. I think the fact that we took it into such a micro level between just one guy and one demon wanting to work together to help save her soul, I think that works a little bit better than Charlie trying to save a bunch of souls, especially people who don't really want it. I think there's a lot more interest in following a demon who wants redemption rather than another demon who's trying to get other demons to want it. I think that's a little bit more interesting, but that's just me. But I think the thing that I really learned from that story is sometimes you come up with really neat ideas, really neat concepts, and while they may seem neat to you, as you really start to lay them out, you start to think, is it really something I want to sink a lot of time and energy into? I mean, it's a creative concept, I still think, and I still would very much enjoy to come back to it and see if I couldn't iron out some of the problems. But there are just so many. There are just so many problems. And I think the biggest one is it lacks a real plot. Like, I need to figure out an end game. Like, what happens at the end? Like, does she get redeemed? And if she does, what does that look like? And for him, what kind of girl does he get? Would it be the kind of girl that he wants or the kind of girl that the demon assumes he wants, And, lots of stuff like that went into it. So it was kind of a creative concept, and I thought that I'd share that with you guys here. Yep, that is love like hell. It's kind of crazy, it's kind of kooky, it's kind of silly. Not my best work, but something I thought I'd share, and yep, that's about all there is to it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in my next video. Take care.